And I'll get our little music playing. All right. And we'll start with a prayer and then we'll move into our visualization for America. So closing my eyes, placing my hands on my heart. So incredibly grateful and thankful to be here with these precious souls and for our willingness to dive deep into the teachings of Jesus through A Course in Miracles. We're grateful for our willingness to practically apply these teachings in our lives to change our minds about our judgments and our judgments of the world, our judgments of ourselves, our judgments of those who seem to be outside of ourselves, and remembering that there is nothing outside of us. So all is contained, all is one, all is God, and we are grateful for our willingness to perceive things that way. We're grateful for our mighty companions, our earthly and heavenly helpers that walk with us and talk with us. We ask that they guide us and bless us through our journey in our conversation today. And we're grateful to have open and willing hearts to receive the all good of God and the all good of our gathering today. We're grateful to be able to share the benefits with Mother Earth and all of her beings because we are one. In grace and divine gratitude, we let it be, and so it is. Amen. So if you'd just like to stay in that meditative state, we're going to move into our visualization. So take a nice deep breath. And we're focusing on projecting our collective energy out to around March of 2025, anywhere in the United States. We're relaxing into this visualization, feeling the fresh air, hearing the birds singing, seeing people smiling, knowing everything went perfectly for the most beneficial outcome for the US and the world regarding our presidential election. We're knowing that we're not merely seeing the outcome, but we're feeling it. We're employing all of our senses. And so we're seeing ourselves standing fully engaged in the precise situation that we wish to manifest. And we're not viewing it as a future event, but feeling it in our hearts and our minds right here and right now, knowing that it is real right now. So as we look around and become aware of our surroundings, we are seeing and feeling and knowing that everything is good. Any pressure is off. Any worry is gone. We are centered and in our power because there is no fear, there is no worry, or anything else. And as we take another nice deep breath, we can release this energy into the world to be absorbed and to expand. And we can gently and sweetly open our eyes and come back into this now moment whenever you are ready. And so we are continuing today in the complete and annotated edition of A Course in Miracles, Robert Perry's book through Circle of Atonement. And we are still in chapter 3, Sane Perception. We're covering section 4 today, Innocent Perception. And so this whole section just stood out to me in so many ways. And I think part of it is because taking the stop playing small and you know, what we have learned and gathered from that, and also from the Great Rhythm Revival that I just returned from, and my experience in Oregon, like the whole, all of the everything that has happened is shifting my perception. So I kind of want to go start with reading the first 3 paragraphs. I could have done half of 4 too, but that's where I'm going to start us with, and then I'll let you know where I was going with all that, and then we can open up the sharing. So section 4, Innocent Perception. We have repeatedly stated that the basic concepts referred to throughout this course are not matter of fact degree. Certain fundamental concepts cannot be meaningfully understood in terms of coexisting polarities. It is impossible to conceive of light and darkness, or everything and nothing, as joint possibilities. They are all true or all false. And that's that idea of you cannot ride 2 horses at the same time. It is absolutely essential that you understand completely that behavior is erratic until a firm commitment to one or the other is made. Yet a firm commitment to darkness or nothingness is impossible. Nobody has ever lived who has not experienced some light and some of everything. This has made everybody genuinely unable to deny truth totally, even if he deceives himself in this connection most of the time. That is why those who live largely in darkness and emptiness never find any lasting solace. Innocence is also not a partial attribute. It is not a real defense until it is total. When it is partial, it is characterized by the same erratic nature that holds for other 2-edged defenses. The partly innocent are apt to be quite stupid at times. God, can I relate to that? It is not until their innocence is a genuine viewpoint, which is universal in its application, that it becomes wisdom. Innocent or true perception means that you never misperceive and always see truly. More simply, this means that you never see what does not exist in reality. And so much came to me through these first 3 paragraphs. I mean, you know, first of all, Jennifer saying, to have, give all to all, and the you know, where it says in the course that only a little willingness is required, but really to have, give all to all. And so that's all of your willingness is to be given. And then again, that saying from Michael Beckwith, when you believe more in what you don't see than what you do see, then you will see what you don't see, and you won't see what you do see, also came to mind when reading this. And I just decided that after reading these first 3/4 paragraphs, that I'm determined to stop complaining and not in a spiritual bypass kind of way. Um, that I will allow myself to feel my feelings without any self judgment at all. Whatever feelings come up in whatever perceptions I am making. And if if I feel the need to process more, whatever my mind is complaining about, I'm I'm determined to work with my spiritual counselor. And so this is my declaration of what I would like to do, just to stop complaining, to stop living in the darkness, and to be fully dedicated to the light. So that's where I'm at. Anybody else like to share anything that they got from the reading?
I would just want to share something. Last night here at about 10:15, I was watching an NCIS thing. Total black. Total black. First time since I've been here. It's like I'm at the edge of the village and it's like, oh, I said, oh, I won't know the end of this story. I've never seen it before. It took them, I was so pleased. I'm so proud of them. It said the alert thing said there was 17 people, 17 what do you call it, people. One said 17 and one said 70. And I said, well, that takes care of this. But there was no lights anywhere as far as you could see. It took them and they restored about midnight. And it's like what they had to do, the transformer right across the driveway.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard this clack thing, and I said, "What the heck is that?" And I went, oh, total darkness. And I was like, it's like I'm trying to remember my first response, and I'm thinking, what? The first thing was, I won't see how long will it be? Will they do it? It's like, I won't see the end of the story. But they were, that's all it took.
And then you
And
were
I
no longer in total darkness.
no longer in total, as far as, yeah, but it's, total darkness as far as the episode. But it was like, it's never happened. I mean, but this is my third year. Actually, I moved, what's today? August. I moved 3 years ago. This past weekend was the anniversary. I don't
Wow.
even, oh my goodness, I didn't even think about that. But it was just interesting. It was just so interesting. It was like total black. I'm serious, total. It's like, whoa.
And how did you feel when you were in that total darkness, Nancy Gail? Were you frightened? Were you just like, oh, well, I guess I'll just ride this? I mean, how were your emotions? What was going through your mind
That's what I'm
besides
saying.
missing the end of NCIS?
I was like, this is interesting. Then I'm thinking, oh, so it's like, okay, let's see, I do have flashlights, blah, 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 blah. And, the only thing that I said, okay, is everything off? Everything just went, shoo. And I said, okay, I had the Chromebook on and I had my cell phone and they both worked. But everything else, that's how I said, oh, okay, so do I have to call, blah, blah, blah. And,
But you weren't afraid.
no, it's like, no, not really.
Excellent.
Because it's the first experience here. So it's like, um, I discovered this one. What is it? I have one of these lantern things. One's in the car, and I had one, and then it was like, and it's like, okay, where was it? Amy, it's like Amy. I had it there, but it's not there, so Amy must have moved. So it's like
Yeah.
I decided months ago to group everything that's like related to batteries and everything is in one spot. It's all right there.
Wow.
Well, that's where it was, and everything that belongs in the bathroom is in the bathroom. I don't have to go looking anywhere else. Amy's got stuff all over her house. It's like, so anyway, no, it was like I was so pleased, and I found that I had what do you call it, rubber band, a bunch of new batteries right on it, and it was kind of getting dim. And I said, "Oh, look, say, hey, look, thanks, Nancy, you did a good job."
Yeah. You
Seriously.
prepared. That's
It was
awesome.
like, yeah, I would. It was. I'm always like a not an adventurer. Like it's like okay, it's like this is an interesting adventure. Let's. How do we deal with this?
Yeah. Nice. Thanks for sharing, Nancy Gail.
What?
Thank you for sharing that. Carla. Oh, Hamira.
Oh, hi, Hamira.
Hi, everybody. I thought I'd speak since there's not that many of us here today.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Linda. I missed you. I know you were out for a little bit, and
Miss you too,
nice
honey.
to see you, Carla and Nancy. And so grateful for this group and the consistency. So thank you for that. And, when you were reading like about the innocent perception and how it's either like there's no gray area, it's
Right.
funny, like in life we're like, stop having such all or nothing thinking or black and white thinking. And yet the course is really advocating for this idea of like you start with a little willingness, but like you said, it's really about becoming fully willing.
Yeah.
And you know I've had so many challenges, as we all have, over the course of the past decade, I would say. um with my father dying, and then with what happened with my ex. But more importantly, the consistent thing that has happened is like I am being worked on by the universal energy of love. I Even when I'm not working it, I'm being worked on. Like I can feel it, I can see it, and I must have some sort of willingness, because I know love isn't coercive. So it keeps working on me. And you guys know the issues with my brother, and he had another bout of getting sober and doing everything the way he should. And what happens is he gets very, very close with me, and he's just such a beautiful soul. And
Yeah.
he becomes so loving. And the inner child, my own inner child, is so hungry for that kind of connection.
Yeah.
And so I get very attached to that. And then, as he does and has for the past 2 decades, he uses and he pulls away, and he becomes cold and, just a different person completely. And I'm watching myself, right? And the little girl in me obviously wants to push back and go, this is unfair. This is wrong.
Mhm.
I got close and now you're doing this again. And every time I ask him, I'm like, I'm afraid to get close. Are you going to pull away again? And of course he says no. And then he obviously does, because he's insane when, he's using.
Yeah.
And so my perception has been becoming more and more clear. And what I mean by that is I am nowhere yet fully embracing being absolutely the presence of love with him, because I do still have my judgments and things still come in, and I have my unhealed own beliefs and about unlovability and all of that play, and I'm aware of them. And I'm become like, I feel that the universe is using this, like he's my Buddha, right? He's my greatest teacher, is using this situation to really put me in this place of unconditional love.
Hmm.
No matter what. And the possibility is that he will kill himself at some point. Like it's very, that's not being negative. It's like just this lifestyle. And coming to this understanding that, if this is an illusion, if we are in this movie, that his soul came in for specific lessons, and I don't know what anything means. I don't know what anything is for. And the innocent perception of just seeing him with the eyes of love, no matter what. But I could see the progression from where I used to go to anger and feelings of betrayal and how could he,
Yeah.
to more compassion and understanding now. And that is, I believe, moving more and more towards the innocent perception of seeing only with the eyes of love. Again, not anywhere perfect. I still have my moments. I get angry. The little girl's like, that's him. I'm not gonna, you know what? I'm not gonna, because he would like every day he would send me like emojis of love and all this stuff. And, I miss you, or we play tennis together, this and that. And all of a sudden, like nothing. So
Yeah.
like part of me is like, I'm not gonna say anything either. But, you know, then I remember what is truth. Then I remember that, well, this is a sign for love. This is a call for love. It's not a call for condemnation. It's challenging. I'm not going to lie. And I certainly am being worked on. I won't even say I'm working on it. I'm being worked on. I can clearly see that love, God, if we're just a tiny bit willing, is continues to work. And I can't tell you how many times throughout the day I'll just stop and I'm just like, I'm so grateful, God. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful because I see it. I see it. There's like some awareness, some other awareness that wasn't there before, that's seeing something playing out here, and that there's a bigger thing going on. That, what was the thing you said about Beckwith? That what?
Yes. When you believe more in what you don't see than what you do see, then you will see what you don't see. And
Oh, I
you
would
will
love if you
see
put
what
that
you
in the
do
chat.
see.
I never know what that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, but that's the feeling that I get sometimes. And so I just wanted to share that, and also share my appreciation for you, Linda, and everybody else here. I love you all. Thank you so much for listening.
Yeah. Thank you, Humira. It's really good to hear your voice, honey.
Thank you.
Yeah. Carla, thank you for your patience.
I raised my hand or something. And I'm like, how does she know?
It looked like you were going to unmute yourself. So I just assumed.
Okay, so this book is so long. But it's really about one thing. It's not choosing love. It's knowing that there is no other choice except love. We can choose. We can think we can, and I wanted to respond to something in there. You think you're all these things that the thoughts that come in my head, the feelings you feel, whatever, but you're not. The body is just doing its thing, right? But you are not that. Nobody is that. Even people who are mean and whatever, angry, or do use other people, hurt other people to get what they want. I was like, they just think it's real. It's not real. Okay, right. So this book is so long, but I'm really starting to see the truth of it. And it's not that it's never been there. It's always been there. I just haven't seen it. Why? Because I've had blocks. It's always been there. It's like the sun is shining, even when it's raining and cloudy. It's still shining somewhere, and it's still shining in the sun. So, but I'm good about. There's so much single lines really stand out to me. Like in the first paragraph, the last line, they're all true or all false. I don't know, it's just that's it to me. Let's see, I think there's another 3. I'll do the last line in paragraph 7. Man's only hope is to see things as they are. And it's like, it's not what you see, it's what is true. Not because that's what is. If only love is real, you're seeing only love, but you're interpreting it incorrectly. And I wanted to read, because you talked about loving your brother and being so, I just wanted to read a poem for that. Okay. For me, to thee. If I were to wish for 3 wishes, I would wish for these. First, I wish you could see yourself as I see you, whole, complete, such a kind, gentle soul whose potential is so huge, nothing I can think of can come close to describing it. Second, I wish for you a fulfilling and joy-filled life, that all you love and love to do be accomplished, and everything you aspire to be accomplished as you dream. And my final wish is this, that you love your complete self as much as God and I love you and adore you. These are my wishes for you, and they will never change. If I'm there by your side or elsewhere, the energy of these desires will abide forever, as will love God and I have for you. So this is the thing. We think it's real because we feel it or we think it, and it's not real. Only love is real, right? But we make it seem real because we believe it. Things come out of me in poems and stuff. Even still, I'm like, where did it come from? I wrote it, yet did it come from me? I think it comes from the soul, the true self, the self of me that has never changed. I was listening to a thing, and it was like saying that we're like 3 people. We're the one who's forgotten, the one who's remembering, and the one who's never forgotten. Align with that. Don't believe the other. I mean, yeah, learn or shift or heal or whatever you want to call it. It's only one thing. It looks like many things. It feels like many things. And I want to share this one last thing. When you feel so challenged, when you feel, the depth of despair and darkness or whatever, that's a good thing. That is awesome. That means something's coming up for healing, and you have to feel it and let it go for it to heal. People think fear is real and all that stuff, that whatever. No, it's the ultimate blessing. What is the atonement? I think we just read it recently. Pure love. So something is coming up for us to remember. That's all we really are anyhow. So don't believe anything else.
Yeah, thank you, Carla. Truth is true always. Absolutely. It's like that line at the end of paragraph 4. where he says, this then, which is truth, is the this he's talking about, is all that the innocent can see. They do not suffer from the delusions of the separated ones. Truth is all they can see.
Oh, there's something I wanted to share and I forgot. We, I guess the people, humanity, the collective consciousness, whatever you call it, values intelligence. But, my mother has Alzheimer's. That's pretty strong. I haven't talked to her since it really came up for healing, but maybe that's the healing. She can't remember the fear, I suspect. Because, when it comes, the thoughts that come, the fear thoughts that come, she doesn't hold on to them because she can't remember. So what if all the people who are what we call retarded or simple-minded or whatever, what if they are really the happiest people on earth? I don't say used to be, I still am very intelligent, but I just don't remember things. It's just I can't hold on to things. And I used to think, oh, that was bad or whatever. I'm getting old or the taxi is taking over or whatever, all that stuff. What if that's the healing? What if that's always been the healing? And we call things something else. And we're allowed to do that. And we're allowed to name them. And we make them because why? Because we believe it's true. We believe ourselves. We're attached to that as believing ourselves somehow. But I don't know. What if nothing is as it appears? Or as we name it? Nothing. Everything is guidance. Guidance from God, love, whatever you call it, all that, or ego, or separation, or darkness, or what if everything that happens? I just sent a text that just accidentally, and man, I really felt the judgment, I did this wrong, and how can that be? How can that ever be when everything we choose is used for good? How can that ever be? Can't be. I don't let it go. It still puts back. I can still believe it for a minute or let go or whatever happens. Whatever. It's not like it's just me. We're one with everyone, right? And if everyone's believing this stuff, it's going to come into our mind. It's up to us to believe it or not, to let it go or hold on to it. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Carla. Yeah, I had an interesting experience over this last week. I went to the Great Rhythm Revival, and my girlfriend has a camper that I normally stay in with her. And this year she got a dog, and I'm really allergic to dogs. I love them, but I'm really allergic to them. And so initially she was going to have the dog spend the night on Wednesday night. Because we usually go up on Wednesday early in the day, and the revival doesn't actually start until after lunch on Thursday. But we like to go up a day before and just like camp on the land and just watch the stars at night and have a good time, whatever. And I saw myself surrounding myself with things that felt like they were going to keep me safe, like self-preservation things. So the plan was that she was going to keep the dog in the camper that first night, and I was going to sleep in a tent that first night, and then I could sleep in the camper. But honestly, my personality was concerned that with the dog staying in the camper overnight, that I still would have some trouble being in the camper after the dog was gone because of the dander and the hair and all that fun stuff. And so I bought a shower tent and a portable toilet, and I bought all of this camping gear so that if I had to, I could stay in the tent the whole time, but still have all of my amenities that I felt kept me safe, that had those self-preservation things. And, I bought a nice mattress and a mattress topper, and I was going to bring my yoga rug, and like I had all of these things packed into my car. And then what happened was I didn't end up unpacking half of my car because she decided when we got there that the dog was not enjoying the campsite. And so she took the dog and went home at night. And so I got to stay in the camper by myself the first couple of nights, because she would come and attend the revival stuff, and then she would go home so that she could tend to her dog. And the interesting thing was, I didn't judge myself for having bought and packed and brought all of these extra things. I was so set on remembering my innocence and just saying, well, you just had this really intense experience where you were stuck in Oregon with COVID, unable to leave because of what happened with the computer thing with the airlines. And so you weren't feeling comfortable and safe because you weren't in your own space and you were sick. And so it makes complete sense that you wanted to feel safe in this experience that normally is very rejuvenating for me, which it was. So I was not judging myself for having spent all that money, spent all that time and energy packing all that crap into my car. There was none of that self-critic talk and judgment going on in my head. And I feel like it's kind of the first time that I've experienced that. So it was a new experience for me. And yeah, it just feels like, the truth is all that the innocent can see, was what was coming up. All I could see was my innocence. All I could see was the truth. So, yeah, it was a new and a lovely experience to have that. Go ahead, Nancy Gail.
Is that why you asked me my feelings when the darkness, it was total darkness? I was like, I mean, total darkness? It's like, oh,
yeah,
same thing. It was like, no fear. It's like, and then I went back. It's like when my father was building, we were building our house. for the first two. After we got the cellar dug and covered, you know, when they that first floor they put that floor for that's going to be the base of that level. And then they put the tar paper over it to you know, keep out the rain. And
Yeah.
we lived in there for 2 years. No, just dirt floor. He put in for the winter. He put in a coal furnace, which one night he did in the wintertime. It was like one night he woke us up and he threw us out in the snowbank. And it's like he forgot the flu thing that when you turn that thing, and the wind or something had moved it, and then the gas was coming in. It's like,
Yeah.
ew. I said, that's freezing out here. Stay out there, you know. I know.
Yeah. Carbon monoxide.
Yeah, and I had, I think it was either not the chicken pox, the measles or something, and it was the summer. It was so hot. I mean, you know, and all we had was blankets between it. The two. Don't tell anybody, you know. Or not, probably wasn't illegal or something. I don't know. But anyway, you know, and then like he'd go to work into the city, go to work, and then come home at night. And then on weekends, you know, at night, that'd be he and my mom would be sawing the wood and everything. And I'd go to sleep with that and everything. And it's like, but I was thinking, all the different environments I experienced. They were like, it's like how I adapted to those and what experiences and all that. It was like that's just the way my life has been, and that this was just, you know, total like this is I just this is an interesting adventure.
Yeah. So it was good
Add
training.
it to add it to the
Yeah.
and then I had all these other previous experiences, things to, you know, what to do and what to, so interesting. It was like,
Yeah.
and when the guys, you know, it was right across the street, and I had Amy. I said, I don't know who to call or whatever. Cause like the thing on the, I said, will you call them and tell them, you know, and she did, and she got somebody that was manning the phones, who was kind of a novice, and that's like, did you tell them this is that's right across the driveway? No, I didn't. And I said, okay. And so then I watched, and the trucks, when I said I see light, because in the total darkness, whatever light is there is, it goes, oh, they gotta be coming. So I look out the door. They were going down the street, but they didn't go far. And then I said, oh, there's two trucks. And I said, oh, yep. He turned around. He's coming right back, and he was backing right in the drive and everything. And it was like, and I said, because I've been worried about, wondering, the two wires, you know, they sag, and then there's all these trees that are like, it's like, and I said, I've been wondering for a while now. It's like somebody should trim those limbs right there, and that's what they did. They're right out in the drive. Somebody else, I don't know who will do, but that's not our drive.
Yeah.
It goes from Main Street. It goes, there's a drive, narrow thing that goes back. There's a house back there, and that's their responsibility, because they're sealing or whatever. They're putting a protective coat on our parking area. The line stops. And went out to that. I said, oh, we don't own that. Okay. But anyways, but it was just the only thing that bugged me was I wouldn't get to see the end of that show, because it was just like an episode that sometimes they repeat, like, you know, they have the whole series and then later they do them again.
Yeah.
And it's like, I said, oh, but anyway.
I
And
bet.
then when they were done, I saw they were finished, and I said, but the light hadn't come back on yet. I said, can you tell me how long it'll be before the lights? And he said, yeah, we'll be plugging the transformer in a couple of minutes. You'll be fine. And I said, thank you so much. Really? They were, and then I sent them a, what do you call it? An email to thank. I said they noticed the message, the text thing came in, and I replied. I said, you know, really cool.
Yeah. Nice. And
Oh,
your
here's
life
one thing.
prepared,
Huh?
your
Here's
life
one thing.
prepared,
Huh?
your life prepared you for whatever happens.
Yeah. And I remember, oh, you know how Jennifer's, what do you call it? What was see, from the top
Stop
thing,
playing small.
what you said was going forward, what we were supposed to, what was I would like to change things, something behavior, the whatever, the last thing that, what would I like to do differently or something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, somebody mentioned the thing, the one-on-one, the one-to-one or whatever it is thing, one-to-one. The one more thing, that was, I said, oh my gosh, because every time Amy comes, and then she stays what she does, and then she's ready to leave. I gotta leave, and then I said, then I think of something else. It's like, and then something else, and something. Mom, I've got to leave, and it's like, she's like telling me. I said, why do you do that every time I gotta leave? I gotta leave, and you wait till the last minute. And so I said, and I figured out why. That's the thing I wrote that I want to do differently, and I did it yesterday.
Excellent.
I did it yesterday because I said, okay, that's like one more thing, tell one more thing before Amy can leave. And then I wrote in when she leaves, she's leaving me alone again. And I don't know exactly when I'll see her again, when she'll be back, because, it's the day to day, whatever, with all this stuff. That's the thing. And so that was it. And then it's like, that was yesterday.
Yeah.
And it came last night because, and to bring, to get the car, um because of the parking thing, there's nowhere else to park, so they took my car home, so if I needed of it. So anyways, and so I said, oh, and so I said, made a list mentally, because I had just done this thing, right? That's a list, because it's 5 o'clock, right? I was like, and I said, oh, because I decided that's the thing it's really bugging her and me. And so I said, mentally, I said, okay, what is the things that I need to discuss with her? And I made a mental note. I said, this. And then she and Paul came in, and then they had an appointment after. So I did this deliberately. I said, okay, this. I kept mentally saying, okay, this. And she said, okay, that's that. Do you think anything else? And I said, one more thing. That's the last thing. And oh no, then it's like I said, after I did the last thing, I said, no. I said, you can go. But I totally recognized that I was implementing it.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
That workshop, I mean, was like totally mind blowing.
Yeah.
No, mind expanding.
Expanding. Exactly. Yes.
Totally awesome.
Yeah. Thank you, Nancy Gail. We're
And
growing, girl.
Carla, thank you for sharing. And I have had some of the same, I forgot already. See, I'm losing it already too. But what you were saying about it's only one thing, and why do people, no, it's like, think. I've been, this, like in the last couple of weeks, 2 weeks, thinking those things, pondering, I'd say pondering, same thing.
The forgetting part. Yeah.
No, it was oh, yes, that was it. My mother-in-law, she, I don't know if it's Alzheimer's, but she forgot she was mad at me.
Yeah.
And Amy said, and everybody said, "Wow, you came in. She's like, she's not. It's like you're just like, she's like smiling and happy, and it's like, does she really remember? She doesn't remember. Oh, she doesn't remember. She did. That's like,
Yeah.
and I had the same thought.
Yeah.
It's
It's the
like that's
feeling.
Alzheimer's. It's like, and the same thing. There's it's called the autistic gardener, and he has like 4 people that he works with. They're all different, levels of different, like ones, they all have their different, and they're happy. They're all
Yeah.
happy doing their thing, and it's like that's what it was that was Carla was talking about, and I think that's the healing. It's like the healing. They're
Yeah.
I agree with like I was right with Carla when she was discussing that.
Yeah. Thanks,
Thanks, Carla.
Nicole. Yeah.
I'll give you a turn.
Carla. Yeah, Carla, go ahead. Unmute. There you
All
are.
right, that one. I'm going on, but I just want to, this one line came to me, I also track through whatever. This is what else, everything else same as it. Paragraph 5, the first line. The way to correct all such illusions, I think what it talked about in the beginning, innocence and stuff, is to withdraw your faith from them and invest it in only what is true. Powerful.
Yeah, thank you. I loved too the very last paragraph. So I'm going to read that. The reason why this section is so short, despite its extreme importance, is because it is not symbolic. And, you know, in the earlier part of the text, he's saying words are but symbols of symbols. Not this one. This is the real deal. This means that it is not open to more than one interpretation. This means that it is unequivocal. It also explains the biblical quotation, but this we know, that when he shall appear or be perceived, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. And every man that hath this hope in him purifieth himself, even as he is pure. Every man does have the hope that he can see correctly, because the ability to do so is in him. Man's only hope is to see things as they are. Period. The end, right? So next week we will continue in this chapter 3, section 5, perception versus knowledge is what we will be doing. And I'm going to read our insights from our friends at Pathways of Light. For today's lesson, which is 119, which is a, or I'm sorry, 219, 100 behind, 219, which is actually a review of I am not a body, I am free, I am still as God created me, and it is I am not a body, I am free. The statement, I am not a body, I am free, implies that if I were a body, I would not be free. The body is limited to a few cubic feet of space in this world. It is disconnected from everything else. This is an extreme limitation compared to the universal unity that is the reality of what God created. What God created is forever joined with him and all creation. God loves what he created because he created it out of love. That love is eternal, unchanging, and unchangeable. The self he created is love, and that is what he loves as his son. It is what I am in truth. Nothing the body does can affect in the slightest God's love for the self I am. I am not a body. Believing I am a body is just a mistake to be undone. Because I am not a body, my innocence remains untainted. If I believe I am guilty for anything, it is because I have accepted a false image of myself as what I think I am. The commandments that says, you shall have no other gods before me, is a path to freedom. It is the mistaken image I have made of myself. that are false idols, which keep me bound to an experience of limitation and lack of love. As I let them go, I open my heart and mind to the love of God that has never ceased. Remembering I am not a body, I am free, I am God's son, is an affirmation of my innocence and my wholeness. It reminds me I am still as God created me. God is formless, changeless, eternal love. God or love is universal. This means love is everywhere. There is nothing but love. Love shares all of itself with all. Love extends. Love is giving. Love's extension is God's Son. The one Son that we are is eternally united and eternally love. Dreaming of bodies with separate minds is just a mistake to be undone. No matter what we dream, we all still remain love as we were created. We are still an extension of love, which is continuous and united. It is only as I am willing to quiet my mind of all the false ideas of separation that I can remember this truth. I have been confused about what I am and what my brother is, but I can lay this confusion down. I can remember what my father loves I can remember what my father loves forever as his son. I can remember that nothing has really changed. Love remains, love as one forever. I need not be bound by dreams of false ideas. Today, my practice is to remember I am not a body. All still remains love as God's extension. I have reinforced false ideas, and now it is my opportunity to reinforce the truth. I woke up this morning thinking about my errors and berating myself for not being perfect. I sat down to do my lesson and started doing the wrong one. I read only my condemnation injures me. I felt a sense of relief, as if God were answering the question my mind was asking. Am I condemned because of my mistakes? For that is really what I fear when I do something that doesn't feel right or have thoughts that don't feel right. I realized this was yesterday's lesson and laughed out loud at how perfectly the universe works to support my growth and my happiness. Then I read the comments from staff and thought, you must be speaking directly to me this morning, especially the line that says, nothing the body does can affect in the slightest God's love for the self I am. Thanks for the help. Eternally love. That's all we are. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Love you all. Bye.
Thank you. See you, Homira.
Thank you. Bye, Nancy.
Bye, sweetie.
Bye for now.
Bye. Thanks, Linda. Thanks.
Thank you.